I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All Complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Hey everybody, welcome back to CT Review. Today is July 22nd, Tuesday, 2025. Hope you had a good day today. So we were talking about two options here. We're going to come down and pop up. And then we also talked about, I want to see this imbalance on the daily stay unfilled. Even on the weekly, you'll see that we ended up immediately rebalancing that. On the weekly, daily missed it by a hair, but we're using this previous a week's high, which is that down bearish candle on the weekly. And then here, the thing is with this, you'll see this Asia flow here, and pre-New York, you'll see that we break below. We do get to squeeze out a lot of these breakout traders and buyers that we took from yesterday. But the issue with this is there's a lot of things with NVIDIA and some other things, but the structure itself, divergence right here, and then you have now too many higher lows. It should have already pushed up, should have already been up. And if it's not going up from 930, then it's going to be coming down, right? So we have to understand those are the options here. Those are the possibilities. And you'll say, well, why was you comfortable buying here? Well, because of the fact that we did attack this area. We want to come up for the liquidity and then build new liquidity because there's only one low here. So for them, well, you can count that guy too, but which is the previous day's low, by the way. So they attacked the two previous days' lows. You can see it marked in the green right here. But that was their agenda here, and hey, it is what it is, but that's okay. You do also have lower lows and lower highs here. Beautiful sell all the way down, coming through it. I'm looking for a discount, and you'll see that we wait for the flow to come through. And then I talked about this range. If you have to watch it very carefully when I'm talking the videos, but I have mentioned that there's this range from low to high. I wanted to see it respect. And if it doesn't, then I'm looking at this range here. Obviously, there's a million types of ranges you can look at. Algorithmically, time-based, candle ranges, even the daily ranges. But in this general gist, you can see that I'm clearly showing the discount of -5, so of equilibrium. But here we're coming down to, you see the projection that I got marked here in the 101.5 here, when we're already have bought in there. In a very bullish scenario, it would probably buy from there, and that's kind of what I was looking at. But with this flow here on the 15-minute, see this here, see this right here. So very, very smooth and obvious, but at the same time, when 930 is here, you don't really know exactly where it's going to go, right? You are on an overbought though, and you are in a premium in a sense. And then for them, I would have rather them take them that low out already, and then we can pop up. But they didn't do that. So the projection here, you can see, blows right through 2 and a 2.5, and then you get to the 3.5 and a 4. You got 4 standard deviations down in the Asia range, and then what's that low? That's that low right. That's that high right there on the 9th. So if you drag that out, that's why I still got it, and it's dragged out. Okay, cool. Now let's get to the 1 minute. Right here, sweeps barely, stuck in that daily. This is the main factor of it not pushing through. We had that daily gap open. Look how this is an auction area, they call it. When it's designed like this, you see this? When you see it like this, it's a break. It's coming right back in, and then they come back to test that area. And that's a very good signature of it selling, or a resistance, generally speaking. So what does it do? Shoots down. Look at the first imbalance from yesterday. So this is also in the factor here, plus that first imbalance here, not the 930. But this right here, you can see at 50%. Look at the bodies being stuck as a hold on it. Look at that, as a ceiling, super ceiling, when it's coming in and X marks the spot. So beautiful trade right here, coming down for liquidity. Obviously, when we made that weekly open, we never really cleared the low of Monday, but we still bought from here yesterday. But generally speaking, they're coming to the other side of it. That's fine. But that's an option you should know that is going to be able to be happening. Beautiful entries here. Beautiful entries here. Imbalance. Another entry right there. Look how we stuck underneath that weekly gap, and then boom, finale shoots straight down. Okay, now it's coming down. We want to typically see a couple drives to 3 drives or a failed drive. And you see here, we make a high and then we rate it. I'm sorry, a low, and then we rate it. And what are we doing? See how we damn near tag that level as well. And then we rate it right there. And then you can see we're all stuck in this wick after that. And this is me sniping it. You can see the bounces right there on that level. This is not random. And then we're obviously in a 3.5 to 4. This is also the main deal. Oversold on a 15-minute, which is beautiful. And then we push up. We push up and we come right back in. You can see here that we have, I'm highlighting the bodies of that last up 1 minute candle right there. You see that? So we're going to use that as a support block right there. See that? And then you could see us, this is the reason why I don't take buys here. But you can see it bouncing right there, coming right back. Look at the bodies in the upper half. And then we have this little 1 minute imbalance right here. You see that? So obviously we're tagging both, and X marks the spot. And pretty much you want to come where? Where would this trade minimally go to? This is a breakout level model for me. Other people, I'm sure, have this same model. But we're blowing right through a low like that, right? So I'm expecting to at least come to that level. What am I highlighting here? I'm highlighting the level, very, very specific in what I'm doing here. The low, I'm sorry, the low, that higher time frame high, the actual gap for the week, and then this -1 to 1.5. This is the goal to start squeezing up and get into it. And then the thing with this trade is that you're thinking two things. Okay, is it going to sell from here, or is it going to keep going to get up in here? For me, experience tells me that this is the end of the day for me, because of the fact that I'm not going to keep holding, because it could be another lower low to get formed. And then I'm not trying to see a retracement deep to then be wrong and then still go up, right? So for me, this is the end of the day. Move 1 happened, right? Move 2, I'm doing move 2. Move 3 is not something that I want to be a part of, because move 2 can keep going and play around. As you'll see, that's exactly what we did. So this is the understanding, this is the logic, and you can see beautifully defining that range and understanding that. I mentioned it. I don't think I did a good job of explaining it like what I'm saying now, but I did talk about it. So, as you should know. But beautiful sell, momentum trading here. Look at the confluence here. And the levels that we're dealing with, and that cannot be random. This is not buyers and sellers. Buyers and sellers did not make that first imbalance and then come here and make it as resistance the next following day to perfect like that. This is just not possible. All right. So then after that, keeping this simple, and then where are we here? So initially in the day we had a lower low here. All right. We had higher lows pushing up. Then we stalled here. All right, and then they all just swept this liquidity here. And actually, S&P was a little bit cleaner when it came down to retracing back up, but that's a very difficult sell to take. This was actually a lot easier. And let me rephrase that. Nas was a lot cleaner, but they gave you the better price. Selling from here is on more on the risky side, so it's something that you also looking dump pump. You want to look for the manipulation, and you also have to allow it to form. So what is it looking for to the left of the chart to grab higher time frame liquidity, right? So pretty much that was it. Didn't look at the chart anymore after this. And then also, I'm sorry, the buy was with the higher low here. And you can see clearly lower lows. I'm just looking at NAS and S&P. At the time, Dow was on some crazy shit up here, but they had lower lows at that time. But here, this is really what mattered, and it didn't matter. The general gist is to come back into an equilibrium of this range that's from here to here, and you can see 50% is where we're sitting now. So breakout area here, very, very logical to come by. And another reason why I'm getting out here is because I don't want to be involved in the rest of the day. Why? Because I know as you can see, this is the time now, 10:38. Okay, at this point, I don't want to be involved because this thing can actually keep going. Finally, maybe in the PM session, and that's exactly what we did. If you take a look here, you'll see. Oh, this is a 5 minute. you'll see that we're not okay. Look, we're still fucking around. We're still here. So this is and you can't make this up. This is why this is this model in this trade. This is that model for me. This is a breakout, return back to breakout, right? Very, very simple. Equilibrium from that range from here to here. I could do the measurement for you, and then you could see here. Bingo. And that's not coincidence, right? And you can see, look, we come right to it. We tag it right there. We stretch above. Now, I was going to wait for it to go above it, which is we're talking about the new week opening gap, right? Obviously. Because I know it's going to do that. But I don't want to fuck around and find out. And I don't want to sit through all this. Look at this. So what did we do? We came up, okay, induced a little liquidity, and then we came down here. Where do we come back down to? Oh, we came back down to that support block. Boom, 50%. You can see oversold. We have divergence. This is now after someone's so hyped trying to buy this, then you get you get a real low that gets printed, and then that gets rated. It's the same idea of me buying this. This is the same logic. All right, beautiful. Again, don't want to be involved here. So because don't forget, I also understand that we also have more liquidity down here. This pool, they could just simply wipe that out. But I don't expect that. Now, as you see this curve I was talking about yesterday, yes, it was pushing up, and that looks obviously like some of the finale of it, right? But when it's up here, it's still possible that we get another raid. But where the price is sitting, which is where 930 is, this is just not something I want to deal with. Not want to fuck with or find out. Now, you could be sitting here hyping to sell this, but I preferably would not. Now, if you watched all the other assets, and I talked about this yesterday, that we had this stupid gap, right? And I talked about a speaker here, right? Remember that? So if you're following, look what we did. We were rushing down. You could tell that that sell was going to be the probable move because of the fact that of this, right? And that's exactly what they did. And this is another reason why I got out, because of the fact that it's not like the 4 o'clock. Oh, by the way, also the 10 o'clock was the reason why I bought this, right? So I'm waiting for the next 4-hour candle. In this case, it would be the 10 o'clock candle. So we're looking for a 10 o'clock reversal. So we're expanding down. And then you can see 10 o'clock right here, this candle right there. See that, buddy? So there's no wick on that. See how it opens up and just shoots down? That's that wick of the candle. And then we broke above it, right? And that's exactly what I was doing to come back up to this breakout area that I just got done talking about. So you can see the tweezer bottoms right there. Pretty nice. 1 hour, you can see it too. See that? Beautiful. Fucking beautiful. But then we start to play around here. And this is the main reason why I don't want to F around and find out. So very clear that we came in here and oversold as well on the 1 hour, which was beautiful bounce. Again, we're bullish. So the bigger picture is that, okay, well, if we make the range from here to here, right? And and why you're saying, why would you choose that range? It's very common that you know, when you get a push up and this retracement doesn't go to 50%, it's still kind of creating the drives up. And that's the same idea here. So could it have came down here? Yeah, of course it could have, right? But we had confluence with algorithmic gaps, right? So we're involved and we understand. It's also, we're tagging that guy right there. See that low right there? They try to get that guy right there. That was really what was key. This is also a breakout level, man, because when we go above it, it's above it, below it, then we go above it, right? But this is a little naive and shallow to expect it to go, but it could have definitely went up. But after seeing this, looking at the analyzing more, and seeing the data here, it's very possible for grabbing this low resistance liquidity, and sure enough, that's what they did. So, going from here is going to be a little challenging. Also, I said yesterday that we're just dollar just keeps coming down. Again, I'm still bullish. I really am. And then as you can see, Dow looks like it's about to break through. It's kind of getting tight here to break through, and it's very possible that it does, because they never took the all-time highs. But I still think it's going to still be pushing up, unless that becomes trendline trendline resistance type of thing, and then they want to come in even lower. I don't see that happening, but they're setting all this up for FOMC, which is going to be next week, and that's really what the big deal is. Again, I'm not going to think too much into it. I think we're still melting up, right, until the right time, and then we'll, maybe pull back. But we got pretty much a pullback, right? Again, this is wide open for you have to Asia and London have to really, get down here to be convinced that I'm going to get some of this area. But anything's possible here. But again, I still feel like it's just going to run through this. See that? They're just building that beautiful liquidity for running up. All right, that's Dow here. And then on the smaller time frame, I know I don't go over Dow. I don't go over the smaller time frames, but let me put the levels on so you can see it. Opening range 930, pushes straight up to seal it, comes back to the 25, plays around, breaks above, and then makes a new high, comes right back to the concealment. That's not random. And then just slowly coming up. Why? We got the inefficiency above here. That's Dow, and then S&P. I did mention about this liquidity here. I did talk about that, and S&P did take that right there. Beautiful. I expect it to still be pushing up from here. And again, the bigger picture is that we're still bullish. So you even though it came down the way it did, I'm still expecting it to buy back up. And as you can see, this is kind of what I was talking about with Nas. I would like to have seen Nas be more in this fashion. Why do I say that? Well, not so much in that perfectly, but you see, when we pushed down with that 930, we came right back up. Still a brick wall here. And then it sells here, right? Comes right down to that gap. It's an old gap. Okay. Takes out that low, previous 2 days lows. We just talked about that. And then look how deep this is. That would suck. And this used to be Dow a lot. This is why I stopped trading Dow. And this is another reason why I don't trade S&P, because of this. You would think it's a little more clean or fair, but it's really not. You see this dirtiness here, right? But it's still inside this wick. Point is that we're breaking through, and now we're just coming back up. So for me, if I was trading this, I would have took it right here, right? This is where I would have went. Breakout level right there. Very clear, right? Very, very clear. And as you can see, they were quicker to come up and make the structure higher. I would have held for this same trade, but we didn't get that. And you're wondering, maybe, how do I know that? Well, I don't want to find out either, right? I also want to guarantee profit. I know that I've already missed the first move, and I'm already in a mind state where I'm antsy, and you know what I mean? But this is logical for these lower highs here. Again, I expect to come up for it too, and I was hoping that they would push up for us, but they just decided to go completely sideways, and this is the exact reason why that getting out right here is just what it is for the day. And look, we went sideways, came all the way back here. I would have to have waited all the way till 130 for it to then get back to my price, right? Excuse me. So, not worth it, and that's why I don't. That's why I'm generally trying to be done by London, or where my reasonable target for the range of the day is. Real quick, also, you can also measure. You can also measure the day. Here's another way of measuring your ranges, by the way, just so you know. I don't even teach this in the course or anything, but this is the daily candle right there. That's that imbalance that we went through. That's July 17. So I'm measuring that from low to high, and you can see the quad levels here, that we're coming into a discount. See the 50% right there? We're coming into a discount. I'm not saying we can't come any lower, just saying that this is a logical place. And we're dipping into that. I should have drawn. Let me just copy this. And I should have drawn this, and I know I didn't, but you'll see a little more clarity here. I don't know why I didn't draw it, to be honest, but 50%, look at the body sitting above, very logical, and so on. And not sealing it, but not that they have to or anything. I'll just leave that for now. But if you look at that candle with quadded, you can see that range here. You can see how we got to 25% here. We dip in, and then we're in the upper quadrant, and then push off, and then we come right back in here. We're sitting at that 25%. Now that's one way to measure it. what was I gonna say? I'm forgetting something. I'm always forgetting something. As long as the videos are, and I still always forget something. Well, I've already explained this, but um, look how I'm sorry. I know this is kind of. Let me just do that real quick. See that? So we made the high of the range, and then we come to the 25%. So we were sitting perfectly on that top 25%. And then over here, we're pretty much selling underneath that quadrant of this premium. So coming to the 50, and hey, it's very easy for them to run this, guys, right here. Because this wick, see this wick on the daily, this July 16, it's stupid wick. It's a stupid wick, bro. So it's possible that they want to come in here. I don't really see that. I just don't. It might happen. Anything's possible with FOMC, and this is really suspect, all this liquidity right here. But for now, to keep this simple, for now, you know, I would like to say that we're still bullish, but Nas isn't making it. And with the earnings, they're talking about earnings and this and that. I mean, we should be pushing up, right? So they're getting some bodies here on the gap, you know, they all pretty much, all the majors did look like they were rebounding. So they were already up inclined, like as we were up here, and then they were all pulling back. So okay, cool, we're getting the pullback. We just got a pullback. Now it's a matter of, do we continue with the trend of another lower low? In a way, it's starting to look like that. I'm looking at them now, and it does look like they have some room to come down. But you know, it's anyone's ball game here with this daily candle looking like this. You know, you expected the price to stay down here as a bearish day. Nice response on the wick, but let's just go with the idea of where we're going. I'm gonna, okay, let's go out a limb here. We'll say, let's just say we close like this right here, right? And there's a couple options. I'm either just looking for it to just go straight up, right? That's literally it. Or they want to, you know, they want to come down here first. These guys right here, tag these guys. You see these equal lows right here? So they might want to tag that guy. We'll see what they do. But, and then it pushed back up. Again, I don't want to see this. Like I said yesterday, I didn't want to see this if we're bullish. I wanted it to just go flow, but it doesn't mean that just because it went in here, it doesn't mean it's not bullish still, right? Let me just, oh shit. So, you get what I'm saying? Like, does it mean it's still not bullish if it comes in here? I just didn't want to see that. But anyways, immediate rebalance. I like that. I would like to see still, yes, the candle turn bullish on the weekly and still close up here because of the fact that we, you know, that was a nice immediate rebalance. Like on the weekly, we're bouncing back in. On the daily, you can see that, you know, even that breakout when we're coming back, we're still coming back in here, which is pretty, you know, kosher. So, yeah, it's at a 50. So if it wants to come to a 61, you might want to seal these guys right here. I'm assuming that they would just tag this and then shoot up. But this is here's an imbalance here. Maybe they want to use this one right here. I like this one here. But that's to me, I feel like that's a little extreme. But we were supposed to get this choppiness because of the seasonal look. So and this is a pretty obvious example of what would have happened if that's the case. The way they look, it's just literally like chopping sideways. Do I look at this as a break of structure? Nah, not really. And as you can see here, we're using this as in control. I even talked about 50% of this wick. No. I said it here. I should have mentioned it here, but I did mention this imbalance. So this is kosher. You know, the new data come inside this wick and then just pop up. I wouldn't even want it to come any lower, really. But if it does come lower, it's a very high chance that it runs through that low to get to this area right here, guys. So am I missing something here? 24 minutes is good, and I'm always missing something. So 50% of this wick that we just made, you want to see that stay above if you're bullish. We're inside this bearish imbalance here, but we are an oversold. So do they want to do a drive here and then pop back up? That's really the magic question for me here. But low, see, we already made these lows here, made a high, then we retrace back, then we made the drives up, and then we're coming back for a swing back. So technically this is a little shallow, but it's also very doable. But they've already kind of accomplished everybody here. So let these guys live a little bit. But this guy right here, I don't know. This guy right here looks really suspect. So you know, something like that. You know, we'll see. But strong candle though. But I'm looking at it like something like this. See how this down candle pushed all the way down? And then what happened here? This daily opened up, took the low inside that imbalance, and then shot up. I want to see something like that. So if they want to come low, I'm assuming they want to also they want to nab this, seal that breakout or that imbalance. But because this gap this wick next to it is sort of a gap. So the algorithm is still looking at that as a gap too. So and 50% of this wick right here. So if I was to do this is, I think, what I was gonna say before I forgot. This guy right here. I noticed this guy. Let me see if I can. It's gonna miss it by a hair, but that's also what I was thinking here. Look how it misses it. So we nab that wick, that guy, that low, and then we come into here. Right, and then it's looking heavy. Looks like it's coming down. No, so I guess that's what they want to do. As you can see, we miss it by a hair there, but it's just an understanding. Oh, let me put it back, and then you can also see it's just the top quadrant, right? But yeah, you know, let me look at the data real quick, the historical data. I mean, again, that's why when it's getting up here like that, it looks like a speaker. It looks like it fans out, or it starts to make drives back down. Each year looks different. The 30, the 15, and the 5, they all look a little different right here that I'm looking at. And let me see here. Yeah, the rest of this, I mean, I think this month is popped. If you ask me, I think it's like a wrap. Because it's literally showing just sideways. So like let's just do this. Some funky shit or something. You know. don't hold me to that right there. What I was just saying is that it's very choppy. But right now, keeping it simple, we expect this to keep pushing up from here. If it wants to blow through, then we're going to come down here and then push up. If it wants to really sell and be another bearish day, I don't see it happening. They want to get into this wick right here. I don't see it happening. So you guys take care and God bless.